ranking the most popular hot sauces in America. Now, before I get into this, I did my best to find the most popular hot sauces that I could track down in America. If I missed your favorite hot sauce, I'm super sorry. Leave me a comment, and tell me which hot sauce I missed. But I think that we can all agree that these are, generally speaking, the most common hot sauces, the most popular hot sauces in America. I am way more excited about this video than I feel like I should be. Shockingly, I think that some of these sauces are pretty, I've had all of them clearly, but I don't consume them on a regular basis, so I'm pretty excited to see which one I actually enjoy the most. Some of them are nostalgic, some of them are very common. Let's get into it. I have them all sitting over to the side. I'm gonna grab them one at a time, blindly, and we're gonna go in and taste them. All right, and we've got Sriracha. This is a classic. This is the Hoi Fung Sriracha. It has changed a little bit over the years. They've had some disagreements on some pepper growing, but I think people are kind of upset the color has changed a little bit. And some people say it's not quite the same. I used to really not like this sauce. It's particularly this brand, sorry. And I thought I just didn't like Sriracha, but that's not the case. There are some amazing Srirachas out there. And for some reason, this one I was not the most fond of. So I'm interested to kind of like revisit it. So sweet, garlic, peppers, that's the vibes we're going for here. Super approachable. None of these sauces are wildly hot. I love the bottle though. It's like a thin plastic, so it's super easy to squeeze and like put on food. Love the bottle, love how much of it you get. Okay. Still not the biggest fan of this sauce, and I'm not really sure why. It is actually surprisingly warmer than I thought it was gonna be. It's actually kind of pepper forward too, which is kind of impressive. So it's red jalapenos, and then you've got garlic and you've got sugar basically. That's basically it. I'm tasting a lot of the jalapeno. But we're gonna set it right here. So as of right now, this is the winner and the loser at the moment. All right, moving on. We have got Texas Pete. This is one that I have not had a lot of in my life. Like, I feel like I've seen Texas Pete mostly in like packets, hot sauce packets. I feel like I've had these on like backpacking trips back in the day. Before I used to just like literally bring a bottle of my own sauce with me on backpacking trips. But I feel like they make this in packets. Texas Pete, it's from Texas, I'm assuming. It's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, believe it or not. All right, so vinegar and peppers, water, xanthan gum. We're in that vinegar forward. It's got a built-in regulator, so you can't even get around the regulator. So let's see how sharp the vinegar is on this. Cheers. Salty, how much salt we got going on in here? 115 milligrams of salt. It's not super sharp on the vinegar. It's not hot at all. This is much hotter. I'm gonna say it's kind of boring. There's nothing really going on with it. I don't hate it, I don't love it. I feel like there's other sauces that are gonna be better than this. Like in this style, I'm actually gonna put this below Sriracha for me. And I'm not the biggest fan of this brand of Sriracha, but Texas Pete is really not doing it for me. Okay, moving on. Cholula. All right, I remember this one. This is one you're gonna see at like so many different Mexican restaurants, at least here in Ohio. This is like pretty common. You're gonna see on a lot of like restaurant tables. This is super annoying to get the top off. I feel like this has also got a built-in regulator. I remember this sauce being like kind of like thicker / creamier. This is a sauce I probably see on tables most in Ohio where I live. Okay, so water, peppers, we actually list the peppers. So arbol and piquin, salt, xanthan gum, spices, what kind of spices? Apple cider vinegar, garlic powder, natural flavor, who knows what's going on with this. I feel like it's got the built-in regulator going on. I think this one actually that comes out a little bit more. See, like, even though it's got the regulator, it still actually pours. And there's like bits of something floating in here. Don't know what it is, but bits of something going on. Cheers. I think this is like barrel aged or something. there's some like, there's like a nostalgia factor happening here. Like I would say that like I've had this so many times that I do enjoy it because, again, nostalgia. I've had it so many times. This reminds me of like going to Mexican restaurants like as a kid in the Midwest. It's warmer than Texas Pete. It is not as hot as a Sriracha. I'm gonna put it in front of Sriracha though, strictly for the nostalgia factor here. Okay, moving on. Tapatío. This is another one that you're gonna see slightly similar to like the Cholula. I've had this many, many times on a bunch of tables. This one looks like it's going to be like almost like gritty. I feel like there's a lot of like spices happening in here. I'm sure it's got got a regulator on here. I'm going to embrace the regulator today. Water, red peppers, what kind of peppers? Salt, spices, garlic, xanthan gum, sodium benzoate, all kinds of stuff. Like this is meant to be able to be sitting on tables, non-refrigerated for eons and not to go bad. So let's see how it comes. See, when you're using a regulator like this, like thankfully I'm hitting my spoon, but there's not a lot of like intent going on here. This sauce smells like there's like a savory application happening here. All right, cheers. Let's see what's going on. There's a grittiness to this sauce, like like the physical spices that are happening here. It's almost like garlic or onion powder. It's a little bit sharper on the heat. There's a little bit, see, it's got garlic. So you salt, spices, and garlic. Like I think it's like physically garlic powder. There's like a sharpness on the tip of my tongue that's happening here. I'm not enjoying this very much. Let's see where I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna go right here. They're like tied. I'm gonna go right there with it for right now though. All right, moving on. Okay, so I accidentally pulled the label off of this. This is Tabasco Family Reserve that I had in my video, my beginner to expert hot sauce video. So you can check that out if you'd like. Incredibly vinegar forward. This is probably the most common hot sauce on the planet. The difference between the Family Reserve and the regular Tabasco is slight, but there is it's aged longer in barrels. And it has a little bit like more maturity. The vinegar has calmed down a lot, even though it is extremely vinegar forward. Wildly sharp in vinegar. So much sharper in vinegar than Texas Pete or, well, Texas Pete is really the only other like crazy vinegar forward sauce. Like this is a much more mature sauce. In regards to vinegar, this one is much more vinegar forward. This is like almost an ingredient rather than a hot sauce, but I love it. It's, again, super nostalgic. I use Tabasco all the time. I think it's really good on rice dishes, soups, gumbos, chilies, like that kind of thing. Got the nostalgia factor. This is definitely gonna be sitting at the top for me. Okay, moving on. Louisiana, another one that you're gonna see a lot in like packets. Like such a common sauce that it's even got like this is like a style in its own. Like Louisiana style sauces. Is that just good marketing or is that like a real thing? I'm not even sure. Aged peppers, vinegar, salt. That's it. Something you'll notice about all these sauces is that they're all red. There's no verdes in here. There's no like color variations. Another one with a built-in regulator. It's the traditional spirit of Louisiana, always ready to spice things up. This is hot sauce just the way you like it. Simply relax, open the cap, and let the good times pour. You don't almost think that like you have to see this served with like oysters or something like that, but I feel like Tabasco is served with like oysters a lot more. Again, don't like the regulator. It's built in. Cheers, let's see how this goes. Very salty. Milder on the vinegar. How much sodium is in here? 200 milligrams of sodium. Way too salty for my palate. I am gonna say that this is my least favorite of all of them. Not a fan at all. There's almost like a chemical test, like chemically flavor going on there. Do not care for that. Ooh. Okay, moving on. Valentina. So this is the regular Valentina. There's also the Valentina Black Label, which is what I think most people enjoy the most. How come I can't get the lid off of this? Is that me opening it? That is me opening it. Much larger regulator here. All right, water, chili peppers, vinegar, salt, spices, sodium benzoate. Nothing else going on. So we're like right here in this realm in regards to like style, I feel like. It's kind of like, it's like a thicker sauce. Like it's got some body to it. Like this is like right there with the Cholula. I'm thinking in body. And I'm kind of intrigued like how. It's the, I don't know. So water, chili peppers, vinegar, salt, spices, and sodium benzoate doesn't do thickening. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, man, that is really not good. Why is my nose running? I gotta taste this again. There's something really weird happening here. There's like a really off flavor going on. There's almost like a sweetness to this in a way happening that is like very similar to the Louisiana, not the sweetness, but like the off flavor that I'm tasting. It's not quite as bad as the Louisiana, but it is not much better in my opinion. Okay, moving on, we got 2 more to go. Why can't I find one? Try not to knock it on the ground. Frank's. All right. I was born in Buffalo, New York. Western New York. I got a lot of crap for calling it upstate New York in a previous video. So Western New York. I grew up with this sauce. Why is it like, it's almost like, there's like a pinkish, purplish hue to this sauce. This goes in my mom's wings. Brown sugar, butter, and this, and ketchup. Crazy as it sounds, that's my mom's wing recipe. Aged cayenne red peppers, distilled vinegar, water, salt, and garlic powder. I grew up with this stuff, super nostalgic. It's probably gonna go pretty high on the list. We'll see though. It's been a long time since I've had it just like straight up. Stupid regulators. I just like launched that. Okay, cheers. Wildly salty. This is, how much sodium we got here? 190 milligrams. See, this is so hard for me. Like, I'm a salt guy. And I'm completely fine with salt. This is definitely overly salty. It's way too salty. It doesn't taste chemically or, like, off-putting like these two taste. Man, it's so hard here. All right, I'm going here with it. I'm kind of shocked that I'm putting it above or below Cholula, not gonna lie. But, okay, the final one, El Yucateco. This is another one that is commonly found on a lot of like Mexican restaurants. This is harder to get into. I feel like this is, to me, this seems like the highest quality out of all of the ones that are up here. And I don't know why I'm saying that. Is that branding? Is that marketing? I don't know. This is definitely this is the one that's got the most ingredients, I think. Water, habanero pepper, so it actually has habaneros in it. Tomato, salt, spices, pH-controlled agent, acidifier, sodium benzoate as preservative, blah, 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 and red 40. So this one is going to be probably the hottest out of all of them. Doesn't have a regulator on it. The only one that doesn't have a regulator. And it's actually made with habaneros. So it's got some things going to it. It's the darkest out of all the sauces, for sure. But it does have kind of like that like pinkish, purplish kind of color to it. I actually see bits of like maybe some sort of like fire roasted ingredient in here. Like there's black flecks of something happening and they look like seeds. So they're habanero seeds. I'm not sure why they're darker though. All right, cheers. Very salty again. I don't taste the habanero. It doesn't seem at all like it's habanero. The burn is going back of the throat, which is kind of weird unless it's like the red Savina, but they don't have it listed on here. I can kind of taste that it's like a tomato forward sauce. I do think this is the highest quality of all of them. Not saying that this is my favorite out of all of them, but it's definitely the highest quality. It's not as hot as I was expecting it to be, but I do enjoy it, and it's definitely the hottest of all of them. Now, where do I put it? I'm gonna go right here with it. I'm going right there. All right, these are the most popular hot sauces in America, and this is my final list. So out of all of these sauces right here, my least favorite, Louisiana, followed by Valentina, followed by Texas Pete, the OG Sriracha, Tapatío, Frank's RedHot, Cholula, which I'm shocked that I like this better than Frank's. The original, I'm assuming, Habanero El Yucateco, and my favorite is straight up Tabasco. And this is the Family Reserve, which is a higher quality version of Tabasco, but the flavor profiles of the original and the Family Reserve are very, very similar. I realize that this might be pretty polarizing, but this is just my personal opinion. I feel like a lot of people do not like Tabasco, but I am a Tabasco fan. And this is just my scale on this day. So, in the description below, you let me know how you disagree or agree with me. Yeah. Did I miss anything? What's the local hot sauce that I miss? Are you mad at me that I didn't do Crystal? Or Secret Aardvark's not in here? Or Yellowbird's not in here? Which one did I miss? Which other ones did I miss? Let me know. All right. I love you guys. I really do. I'll see you guys on the next. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Brian Ames. Please click the subscribe button that you see right there, and you'll subscribe to my videos. From now on, I'm going to be eating a lot of peppers. It's going to, oh man, it's going to be great. Bye.